Okay, my dear students, a very good morning to all of you. I hope each and every one of you is doing absolutely good. I want each and every one of your camera should be on. Everyone's camera should be on. I request the KS Academy staff that if anybody's camera is not on, you can remove that student straight away. Remove that student straight away. I want each and everyone's camera should be on throughout the class. Throughout the class, I want the camera should be on. Yeah, throughout the class. Okay. So, yeah. Just a moment, let me mute everybody. Yeah, I request everybody to please mute your mics. Hello, everybody. I don't know from where to mute the mic, but I'm searching right now. Yeah, mute all. Okay, everybody. Okay, let us start the class, my dear students. Yesterday we have just completed all the essential condition of section 10. Let me give you some brief about yesterday's lecture. We have started from the Indian Contract Act 1872. I have told you about the notes. Let me repeat about the notes. The handwritten notes and the printed one is already been given to you in the respective WhatsApp group. Regarding this, you have to ask from the management the bullseye notes, the very important. Nothing comes out from this bullseye notes. Then we have started the Indian Contract Act 1872. In section number 1, we have learned the 4 things: short title, extent, commencement and applicability. Short title, lawmaker usually give a short title to all those acts which have a very big name, like a COFEPOS Act. I have just given the example, but in case of the Indian Contract Act 1872, the name itself is very small. The short title of the act is the Indian Contract Act 1872. Extent means to the whole of India. Regarding commencement, we have learned 2 things. When the rule has been made, it is known as enactment. When the rule is applicable to the concern, it is known as the commencement. Then we have learned about purpose of this act, and the purpose of this act is promises must be kept. Whatever promises you have done with the parties in the contract, you have to fulfill it. Okay. After that, we have moved to the applicability of the contract, and applicability is like Indian Contract Act 1872 is applicable to all types of contract, and contract is defined in section 2 clause H, and in section 2 clause H the definition is agreement enforceable by law. Section 2E, agreement is equal to promise plus consideration. Section 2B, promise is equal to offer plus acceptance. After that, we have moved to the enforceability part, and regarding enforceability we need 2 things. First is all the essential condition of section number 10. The second one is intention to create legal relationship. That intention part is very important, and intention to create legal relationship, the parties at the time of entering into agreement must have the intention to sue. We have discussed n number of cases: Balfour versus Balfour, Marriott versus Marriott, Rose Frank Company versus Crompton and Rose, and etc. After that, we have moved to section number 10. We have discussed all the condition of section number 10. All the conditions have been done by us: 2 parties, intention to create legal relationship, other legal formalities, certainty of meaning, everything is done. only this part is left. Only this part is left, free consent. And let me tell you guys, this portion, free consent portion, this complete portion, this one which we have, just a moment. Just a moment, I don't know what happened to the pencil. The pencil is not working, my dear students. I am figuring out. What happened to you, my dear? Just a moment. Yeah, now it started working, but again some problem created. Guys, can you please allow me 2 minutes? Can you please allow me 2 minutes? Just a moment. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Now the pencil is working. Now please focus on this topic. Please have a look on this topic, free consent. This is a very important topic, very important topic. But let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please have focus what I am going to tell you right now. Whatever thing we are learning under section number 10, whatever section number 10, whatever we have learned under section number 10, whatever, all the essential condition of valid agreement, all the essential element of valid contract, like consideration. This was one of the essential element of the section 10. Consideration must be there. Second, we have learned about expressly declared void agreement, the negative agreement. Expressly declared void, we call it as a negative agreement. We are going to learn right now free consent. We have learned that lawful object and consideration, and etc. So I want to tell you all, all these topics all these topics, man, all these topics will come with great details in further units. We are learning the basics of contract, preliminaries. Unit number 1 we are learning right now. This is unit number 1 which we are learning. In unit number 1, these are all our topics, the brief of everything. But this will come in great detail in unit number 2. The whole unit is based on, unit number 2, the whole unit 2 is based on consideration. This topic, all these 3 topics will come with great details under unit number 3. So my point is, my dear student, whatever we are learning under section number 10 are just brief, so that you can understand the terminology under the basic unit itself. But this topic will come under great details. The consideration will come under great details, unit number 2. This all topics will come under great details. We are left with this topic. This free consent. Under section number 10, we are left with this topic, free consent. But again, this topic will come under great details in unit number 3. So why we are learning right now? Because our basic should be strong. Because when we will move to the unit number 3, when we will try to understand the topic in great details, we must be having a basic understanding of that topic first, so that we can understand the great details of that topic. So whatever we are learning under section number 10 will come under great details. Like, there's one more point, that party should be major, party should be sound mind, party should not be otherwise disqualified. This point also will be covering in great details under unit number 3. Are you getting my point, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Are you getting my point, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Everybody, I want each and everyone's of camera on. So all the people who have put it off your camera, I will request the KS Academy staff to remove all the students. And I'm telling you last time that I want each and every one of your camera should be on. I'm telling you for the very last time, your camera should be on. To everybody, I'm telling this. Your camera should be on. Everyone's camera should be on. Everybody's camera should be on. Everybody's camera should be on. Yes. So now, my dear student, we are going to learn about free consent. Now, please try and understand what do you mean by this free consent. Let us have understanding of free consent. Just a moment. Yeah. Free consent. See, there are two words. One is free and the another one is consent. Okay. One is free and the another one is consent. The consent should be free. So for suppose example, I am giving you the recent case which I have encountered in my life. Again, the case is practical, a little bit vulgar, but it's essential to give you that example. Please try and understand, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. There's a recent case of Madhya Pradesh, okay, MP. There was one boy and there was one girl. And where there is one boy and there is one girl, always blunder happens. Okay. So what happens in this case is, the boy was preparing for IS exam and the girl was, what I can give, having bad intention, the guilty mind. So both of them met in Instagram, IG. They started chatting The things goes on. All the loving shoving things goes on. The emoticons, nice emoticons goes on. After that, the girl used to ask with the boy, ki, can you please send me some sexy photos of yours? So because of the boy was fallen in love with the girl, the boy used to start sending the nude photos or the vulgar photos, which the girl asked herself that I want those photos. After this, the girl started blackmailing the boy that I will reveal all of your this photos in the public platform, and as you are preparing for the IS examination, very dignitary course, your image, your reputation will be like, it will be damaging, like it will damage you so much that you can't believe. Your career is gone now. And now you have to give me, because if you want to save yourself, you have to give me a money of rupees 10 lakh. Definitely the boy was not in a position to give rupees 10 lakh. So the boy, whatever the capacity the boy was having, the boy initially gave 50,000 rupees, then again he gave around 30,000 rupees, like this, somehow the boy gave 2.5 lakh rupees. The girl was continuing, the girl was continuing doing the blackmail and all. One day this boy committed suicide. Because of the pressure and all. And to this, all these things, from the point of view, we call it as extortion. Now, what do you mean by extortion? That you are blackmailing something, you are blackmailing someone for the sake of money. In the language of law, we call it as extortion. Now my point is, my dear student, whether the consent of the boy is there, whether the consent of the boy was there, yes or no? Whether the consent of the boy was there to give money, whether there was consent or not. Somebody is telling no, somebody is telling yes. I'll tell you, there was consent. Yes. Tarak Keshwari, I agree with you. There was consent, but the consent was not free. There was consent, but the consent was not free. At the start of this topic, I have told you there is two topics. There is two things. One is free, another is consent. Feel the gap between this. There are two things. Free consent. So there was consent, but the consent was not free. I'll give you another example. Bilton, the yawning boy. Yeah. Bilton, the yawning boy, was moving from the Arya Govda road in his Honda Activa. I stopped him. With the help of gun. Like, stop, otherwise I'll shoot you. Come out of vehicle. I called him at the side of the road. Malak, give your chain. Give this your gold chain. Whatever money you are having, give it to me. Whatever money you are having, give it to me. Which mobile phone you are having, give it to me. Drop your vehicle here itself. Give me the key. Otherwise, I'll shoot you. Whether there is consent, everybody. Whether there is consent, consent means giving acceptance of something, agreeing to something. And consent we have already covered. Two persons agreeing to the same thing in the same sense, it means consent. Two persons agreeing to the same thing in the same sense, known as consent. Yesterday only we have covered this topic, consensus ad idem, meeting of minds. Two persons agreeing to the same thing in the same sense, it is known as consent. Everybody, are you with me? Everybody, yeah. The point is, there is consent, but the consent is not free. Because consent is obtained by coercion. Consent is obtained by coercion. Everybody. Everybody. Now the thing is, my dear student, we want the consent to be free. We want the consent to be free. There must be consent, and the consent must be free. Indian Contract Act 1872 nowhere defined. ICA 1872 not defined the term free consent. The term free consent. Then what they have defined? They have defined ICA 1872 defined 5 elements. If those 5 elements are absent in the agreement, the consent is deemed to be free. Is deemed to be free. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, are you getting my point? The Indian Contract Act 1872 has not defined the term free consent. They have defined 5 types of elements. Again, I am asking all the people who are not put it on the camera, please on the camera, everybody. I want each and everyone's of camera should be on. Yeah. Now please try and focus, my dear student. Indian Contract Act 1872 has not defined this term, free consent. This free consent has not been defined. The Indian Contract Act 1872 is telling that I am defining you the 5 elements. These 5 elements should not be there in your agreement. If this 5 elements is not present in your agreement, I, the Indian Contract Act 1872, will presume that your consent is free. I'll presume that your consent is free. These 5 elements should not be present in your agreement. If these 5 elements are not present, I'll presume the element is free. The consent is free. So I'm not defining the free consent. I'm defining the elements from which the consent may not be free. So this 5 elements should be present. And what are the 5 elements? Let me tell you. The first one is, the consent should not be obtained by coercion. The consent should not be obtained by coercion. And coercion simply means physical threat. Like I have just done with Bilton. Physical threat. I'll shoot you. I'll murder you if you will not give the gold chain, your mobile, your bike, etc. The consent was there, but the consent was not free because the consent was obtained by coercion, the physical threat. The first one. Second one, undue influence. Now it is known as, in simple word, moral pressure. I'll give another example of both these things. Suppose there is one girl, Neha. I love her so much. I love Neha very much from the moon to the back. Okay, but Neha does not love me. Neha does not love me. Neha is loving Bilton. Neha is not loving me. Neha is loving Bilton. Okay, it's a love triangle. I am loving Neha. Neha is loving Bilton. Yes, everybody? Now, I am having some skills in me. So, I was of the view like I'll propose Neha in such a way that she cannot deny. I will propose Neha in such a way that she cannot deny my proposal. I'll let you know the proposal. I'll let you know the way in which I'll propose Neha. And to all the boys, I'm giving you hands proved way to propose a girl that she can't deny. Listen carefully, everybody. Yes, is there anyone who wants to propose a girl? Can raise your hand. Nobody wants to propose a girl? Okay. So, I booked the chopper. You know, chopper, helicopter. You know, there's one reel going on in the Instagram. Helicopter, right? Yeah. So, I booked the chopper. I booked the helicopter. Asked Neha to come with me. I'll give you a nice ride of the helicopter in the air, in the sky. Neha came to me. The chopper started. We are on the 32,000 feet above from the earth. Now in that chopper, wearing headphones, in my knees, I propose Neha that Neha, I love you so much. Will you please marry me? The bouquet is in my hand. I gave the bouquet. Neha accepted the bouquet. Then from my pocket, I took out a ring. And in my knees, I am asking Neha, will you marry me? And with the another hand, from the back of my jeans, I put one revolver before Neha. Don't dare to deny. Otherwise, I'll shoot you here itself and I'll throw you out of the helicopter. Yes, everybody? Whether Neha will deny my proposal? Whether Neha will deny my proposal? The answer is no. Because the life is very precious to Neha. To save her life, she given her consent. The consent was there. But the consent was not free, because the consent was obtained by coercion. And that's the point. The Indian Contract Act 1872 has not defined the term free consent. ICA is defining this 5 element, that this 5 element should be absent from your consent. If this 5 element is absent, I'll presume the consent is free. But I have obtained the consent by means of coercion. There was the consent of Neha, but the consent was not free. Are you getting my point? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Now let us connect the second point, undue influence. Undue influence, it's like moral pressure. You are taking advantage of somebody's situation. Somebody is stuck in some situation. I'll let you know the situation again with this example. For suppose Neha agreed to my proposal in a very normal way, not in that helicopter, no coercion, nothing. Neha agreed that okay, I'll spend my whole life with you. You are my dream boy. Now the time has came that I have to ask the hand of Neha from her father. Her father is very big shot man. I went to the home of Neha. I asked the father that uncle, I'm well settled, CS, LLB, LLM, preparing for judge examination. By your grace, I'll soon be the judge. Your daughter will be very happy with me. Can you please give the hand of your daughter in my hand forever? Now the dad, the provisional dad, because the relation is not fixed yet, the provisional dad is telling that I have also the lots of money, I can't, it doesn't matter what degree you are having. My point is, I am having a lone daughter and I am having an empire of millions and billions. I want someone I want someone for my daughter who can stay in my house only, who can stay in my house only, who can run my business only. You have to leave everything what you are doing. You have to run my empire. You have to stay in my house. If you are agreeing to stay in my house, if you are agreeing to run my empire on behalf of me and my daughter, then it's okay. I can give the hand of my daughter to you. Otherwise, I'll not. Now, the point is, I got stuck in the situation. I'm in love with the girl, and other side is the father. Just a moment. One side is my love, and another side is father. Love is asking to be together, and to be together, the father is asking to be ghar jamai. Now this is the Hindi word ghar jamai means. This is the Hindi word ghar jamai means you have to leave your house and you have to stay in the girl's house. And here is I am, Arjun. Don't you think one side is my love and another side is my situation? I got stuck. Like if I want the hand of the girl, I have to be in the father's house, the girl's father's house. Yes or no? Everybody getting my point? Everybody getting my point? Can you please give me a thumbs up? I got stuck in a situation where one side is my love, another side is the father asking me to stay in the father's house. I got stuck here itself. For the love of my life, in moral pressure, I agreed to the condition of the father, whether the consent was there. The consent was there, but the consent was not free. Getting the point? The another one is fraud. Now please try and understand this terminology, fraud. There's one boy. Boy is having a very nice attraction with a very beautiful girl. So the boy is not having any intention to spend all his life with the girl, but he is making a false commitment to the girl that, my dear Neha, I am falling in love for you. I want to spend all my life with you. Can you please come into relationship with me? Actually, by taking the girl into confidence, by taking the girl into relationship, he want to use that girl sexually. The intention was not to marry. The intention was to take the girl in confidence. The intention was to take the girl in the confidence, so that the girl will allow all those stuff which he wants. But ultimately at the end of the life, by using the girl, he will leave him. Can I say the consent of the girl is obtained by fraud? You are making a promise and not having an intention to fulfill it. Hello everybody. Are you getting my point? The third example of this is, academy is promising you that the regular course will happen to you. All the things will be taught to you. All 4 subjects. The course will run for 6 months. This was the commitment by the academy. But the academy is knowing the course will not go for the 6 months. We will conclude the syllabus within 3 months and nothing will be given to you. It will be known as fraud. The another example I'll give it to you. Please understand. A very nice example. Bilton is having a pet shop. Bilton is having a pet shop. Okay. Bilton used to sell dogs. Another breeds dogs. You know, there's one breed of dog called Labrador. There's one breed called Labrador. And the another breed, for suppose I can say German Shepherd. Okay. Now, Bilton used to sell dogs because Bilton is having a pet shop. Okay. Now the another girl, not another girl, another boy. Let me take a very nice name, Bharat. Bharat is a dog lover. Bharat is a dog lover. Now Bharat is going to the shop of Bilton and asking Bilton that Bilton, I want a Labrador breed dog, Labrador. Now there is one dog in the shop of Bilton which is not actually a Labrador. There was one male Labrador and female German Shepherd. Bilton arranged a meeting of both the dogs. Yes. And now the one dog came into picture, the puppy came into picture, and this puppy, whether this puppy is a Labrador, or whether this puppy is German Shepherd, this puppy is neither Labrador, neither German Shepherd, it's a hybrid of both. Hybrid of both. It happens. It happens, actually happens. Till here you got the point. Till here you got the point. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Till here you got the point. So now Bharat is coming to Bilton and asking Bilton, I want the Labrador breed. I want the Labrador puppy. Now the Bilton is showing this hybrid dog to the Bharat. Now Bharat is asking whether the breed is original. Whether this is original dog. So Bilton is saying, yes, it's absolutely Labrador. The male Labrador and female Labrador met together and the puppy came. This is the original one. But actually the fact is, the male was Labrador and the female was the German Shepherd. Yes, everybody. And it is the hybrid of both. It is not the original one. And Bilton is saying to the Bharat that this hybrid breed is the original Labrador. Can I say Bilton is doing fraud? Can I say Bilton is doing fraud with Bharat? Can I say Bilton is doing fraud with Bharat? Can I say Bilton is doing fraud with Bharat? I want to request Ritik, don't mix the concept. Even though you have read the concept, there is a very deep concept of fraud and misrepresentation. Don't mix the concept. The misrepresentation is something different, which I'll let you know in the third unit. Everybody. So the Bilton is causing fraud with Bharat. Now Bharat in the belief that the breed is original. It is not hybrid. Bharat is believing that it is actually a Labrador. Purchase the dog. Whether there was consent of Bharat. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, whether there was consent of Bharat. There was consent. But the consent was not free because the consent was obtained by Bharat. By means of fraud. The consent was there, but the consent was not free. This is the third element. Now let me give you the fourth element. The fourth element is misrepresentation. Now let me take a fresh page. And let me give you a very, very thin line difference between fraud and misrepresentation. I am taking the same example. I am taking the same example. Same example of dog. For suppose, imagine a situation. My dear students, imagine a situation. For suppose there is a man called 𝐿LB Abraham. 𝐿LB Abraham, how are you? Okay. So there is a boy called 𝐿LB Abraham. 𝐿LB Abraham is having a hybrid breed of dog. The same dog, mix of German Shepherd and Labrador. This man sold the dog to Bilton, telling Bilton that the breed is what? Original. Breed is what? Original. Bilton purchased the dog. Believing the breed is original, although the breed was not original. Now, my ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, whether this Abraham, Jason Abraham, committed fraud with Bilton, yes or no? Committed fraud, yes or no? Committed fraud, yes or no? So this is fraud. Now, Bilton is unaware that the breed is hybrid. The Bilton is believing that the breed is original. Now Bilton is moving ahead. One fine day, Bilton is making a statement to Dhanush that Dhanush, will you purchase my dog? Will you purchase my Labrador? The breed is original. The breed is original, my dear. I have purchased the original breed. The breed is original. Bilton is making a statement to Dhanush that the breed is original. A couple of months before, I have purchased this house from Abraham, purchased this dog from Abraham. The breed is absolutely original. Now the point is, Bilton is having a belief that the Bilton is having the original breed. My point is whether Bilton is committing fraud with Dhanush. Whether Bilton is committing fraud with Dhanush? No. Because Bilton is unaware whether the breed is original or not. Abraham was knowing that the breed is hybrid and making a false statement that the breed is original. It's a false. But Bilton is having a belief that I am having an original breed. Now in this case, this case amounts to misrepresentation. This case is amount to misrepresentation. This case amount to misrepresentation. Now, my dear students, I have one question from all of you. What is the difference between fraud and misrepresentation? What is the difference between fraud and misrepresentation? What is the thin line difference between fraud and misrepresentation? Exactly, Tarakeshwari. I'm absolutely agreed with your point. Sir, there is a difference of intention. Tarakeshwari, I want to know whether you have already learned this concept because you got the point. Exactly, that there is a difference between intention. In case of fraud, the intention is guilty. Intention is guilty. Intention is to deceive. Deceive means you are fooling someone and taking advantage. Intention to deceive the party. Making false statement intentionally. Making false statement intentionally. And in case of misrepresentation, there is innocent just a moment. There is no intention to deceive party unknowingly, unintentionally makes false statement. Everybody getting the point? Everybody getting the point? There is no intention to deceive. Party unknowingly, unintentionally makes the false statement. But still, the point is, in this case, even though there is a misrepresentation, there is no fraud. Whether the consent of the Dhanush is obtained freely, whether the consent of the Dhanush obtained freely, yes or no? Whether the consent of the Dhanush obtained freely, everybody? No. The consent has been obtained by misrepresentation. If the Dhanush was aware of the fact that the breed is not original, he haven't given the consent. Yes, everybody? Yes, everybody? Are you getting my point? Again, I'll request each and every one of you to please on the camera. Pavi, Sabareshwar, Yuvashri, Harin, Vishwadarshani, please on the camera, everybody. Everybody should on the camera. The concept is very important. I want to see the face of each and every one of you. Saran, Lokesh Paneer, please on the camera, everybody. Sehwag, Darshan Raj, Pavan Tanay, Indra K, Mohana Priya, Partharthi, everybody should on the camera. Everyone should on camera. Yes. Harini N, Sehwag, Varun Raj M. Everybody should on the camera. Yeah. All the last people, D. Praveen Kumar, Joshini. All the last people should on the camera. Yes, Adil Hame, Mohana Priya, Arusri Arun, Kirti. Everybody should on the camera. And I want the camera should be on throughout the class. Throughout the class, your camera should be on. Everybody. Yes, Pradeep, Parth Sarthi. I am taking the name for the last time. Pradeep, Santosh Kumar, else I'll remove you from the meeting. Either you should on the camera or I should remove you all. All the last people, Pavan Tanay, Santhya, Arusri Arun, Santosh Kumar, Lokesh, Sharan. I am calling all your name for the last time. Otherwise, I am removing you all from the classroom. Otherwise, I'll be removing all of you from the classroom. And I am giving the warning for the very last time. Please try and understand. I am giving the warning for the very last time. If I found next time that your camera is off, all the last people, I'll simply, without giving any warning, I'll simply remove you from the classroom. I'll simply remove you from the classroom. If next time I found all the back people is having their camera off, I'll simply remove you all from the classroom. I'm giving the warning for the last time. I'm giving the warning for the very last time. Very last time. I'm calling the name for the very last time. Hariram, Charulat, DV, Pavan Tanay. Everybody's camera should be on. Everybody's camera should be on. Yes. Bhavya Ramesh. Yes, everybody's camera should be on. Bhavya Ramesh, Akshaya, Pavan Tanay. I'm giving the warning for the very last time. If I found anyone's camera is off, I'll simply remove that person from the classroom. I'll simply remove the person. Okay? Yes. The camera should be on. Yes. Sudarshan S. Sudarshan S. Lokesh. Camera should be on, everybody. Otherwise, I'll remove. Lokesh. So I'm giving you a time of 5 minutes. Everybody, your camera should be on. Everybody's camera should be on. Otherwise, I'll without giving any warning, I'll remove each and everyone from the classroom whose camera is off. Okay. Now, please have a focus. Sir, if I sell the red car to client, whereas the client unknowingly understood that I'm selling the blue car, because I just pointed out him that the car from the distance, and he understood it is a blue car and not red, whether it is a fraud or misrepresentation. Bharat, you are mixing the concept of mistake here. Please be patient. I'll have your doubt. Now, please have a look. So the fraud is done, the misrepresentation is done, the 4 element has been done. I'm teaching you for the 5th element, that is mistake. Now we are going with the 5th element, that is mistake. So first one is coercion, the second one is undue influence, the third one is fraud, the fourth one is misrepresentation, and the 5th one is mistake. Please try and understand. Now, mistake simply means both the parties are now unaware. Like the Bharat told one of the example. Sir, if I sell red car to the client, where client unknowingly understood that I'm selling the blue car because I just pointed out him the car from the distance. Take this example of Bharat. Bharat is having 2 cars. Bharat is having 2 cars. One is red. One is blue. And there's another party called Prithika on the scene. Okay. Now the another party, Prithika, Bharat is making an offer to Prithika. That Prithika, will you purchase my car? Will you purchase my car? And at the time of making an offer, the intention of the Bharat is to sell the blue car. But Prithika, believing that Bharat is having only one car, and that car is actually a red one. That car is actually a red one. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, don't you think both the parties are under a mistake? This person is giving an offer for the blue car. This person is giving an acceptance for the red car. Both the person are under a mistake. Yes or no? Can I say there is an absence of consensus at a meeting of minds, 2 persons agreeing to the same thing in the same sense? Everybody? Hello? 2 persons agreeing to the same thing in the same sense. Hello? Now the point is, my dear student, please tell me whether 2 persons are agreeing to the same thing? 2 persons agreeing to the same thing? 2 persons is agreeing to the same thing, yes or no? But the sense is not same. One is sensing the red car, another one is sensing the blue car. Yes or everybody? One is sensing the red car, the another one is sensing the blue car. Yes, everybody? One is sensing the red car, the another one is sensing the blue car. Bilateral mistake. Okay. Here the consent is obtained by mistake. Here also the consent is not free. Everybody got the point? Now, please try and understand what I am going to tell you right now. Now, this concept is very important, which we are going to have a look on this. Please have a look on this. Please understand the term. So, I am writing something. Please have a look. Consent is free if not obtained by coercion. Second one is undue influence. The third one is fraud, misrepresentation and mistake. Whether this statement is true, that consent is free if not obtained by coercion, undue influence, fraud, misrepresentation, mistake. Whether this statement is true? Everybody. Whether this statement is true? Okay. Yes, Pratisha, you can have your breakfast. Please eat. It's okay. It's absolutely fine. Just remember one thing, by eating your concentration should also be with me. You can eat. What you are having? Can you show me? I'm hungry as well. Okay, it's okay. Now, my dear student, please have a look. The party whose consent was obtained by any of this means, the party whose consent was obtained by any one or more of this means is known as aggrieved party. Aggrieved party. And aggrieved party means party who is now sad that yaar, coercion happened to me, undue influence happened to me, fraud happened to me, misrepresent happened to me. This is known as the aggrieved party. This person is known as the aggrieved party. Okay. Now, please have a look. See, I haven't covered mistake in this case. Because in mistake there was a mistake of both the parties. There was nothing wrong happened with the party. So the party can be aggrieved in this 4 case only. Not in the 5th one. Now, the very important concept is, please try and understand. The very important concept is, if consent is obtained by coercion, undue influence, fraud and MR, यानी कि misrepresentation. The line which I am writing right now is very important. The contract is voidable at the option of aggrieved party. The contract is voidable at the option of aggrieved party. This is very important line. The contract is voidable at the option of aggrieved party. This line is very important. The contract is voidable at the option of aggrieved party. Now, what do you mean by this terminology voidable? Voidable at the option of aggrieved party. We will understand these things, voidable at the option of aggrieved party. Now, the important thing is coming right now, and if consent is obtained by mistake, the contract is void. The contract is void. If the consent is obtained by mistake, the contract is void. Now, my dear student, we will be moving ahead with the concept of void, voidable, which is very important concept. Your focus should be totally in the classroom. The concept is very thin. If you won't concentrate, even for a second, if you won't concentrate, the concept will blow your mind. Okay, everybody. Now, please, have you all noted down the above provision, what we have written in the above slide? Anybody wants to note it down? Anybody wants to note it down? All the above provisions? Hello? Everybody noted this, all the things? Everybody noted? Everyone noted all these things? This also covered? Yes. Please note it down. Please note it down. You noted all these things? Hello? You let me know. I'll show one slide. This is done. This is done, yes or no? This one is done, yes or no? However, this is not very relevant. This is not very relevant. Even this is not relevant. This is relevant. This line is important. This one is important. This is done or not? Yes, please note it down. Please note it down. Please note it down. I'll be coming in 2 minutes. Please note it down. Note it down. Yes, everybody. Okay. Now we are going to learn very important concept. You should be focusing in the screen right now. Please have a look. You are done with this. You have done with this slide also? Hello? Done with this also? Yes or no? Done with this also? Yes or no? Yes, please note it down. Till that, let me check whose camera is off right now. So I should remove him or her straight away from the classroom. I guess I have to remove one of the people right now so that you guys must be aware that I can remove. I can remove actually. Camera should be on, my dear. Okay. Noted this? Now this slide is important. If you haven't noted this one, please note it down. This one is important. If you haven't noted this one, note this. Please tell me, noted or not? Yes or no? If noted, I'll move ahead. If not, I'll give time. Yes, please note it down. Let me talk with the random students right now. Yes, Mohan Priya. Can you please unmute yourself? How are you? Yes, happy morning. Noted with this slide?
Yes, sir.
Had breakfast?
Yes, sir.
What you had? What you had?
Idli.
Idli sambar.
No, sir. Idli with chutney.
Idli with chutney. And what you are having for the lunch?
Don't know, sir.
Don't know. Your mother must be knowing, right?
Yes, sir.
You are hostel people or you are local people?
Local people, sir.
Chennai.
Yeah.
Okay. Have a nice day.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Yes, Harichandra Prasad. Can you please unmute yourself? Yes.
Sir.
How are you?
Good, sir.
Which city?
Sir, now I am in Andhra, sir. Actually, I am staying in Chennai.
Okay.
Sir, really, I just came to Andhra.
Oh.
Hometown.
Okay. Hometown is Andhra. Okay. Had breakfast?
Yes, sir.
What you had?
Bread, sir.
Bread and?
Bread and peanut butter. Yes.
Bread and peanut butter. Okay. Very nice. The healthy food. Okay. Everybody noted? Ritik, the notes is given in the WhatsApp group. The notes is given in the WhatsApp group. Hello, everybody. Noted? Everybody noted or not? Okay. Please note it fast, my dear student. Please note it fast. Jason Abraham. Can you please unmute yourself?
Sir.
Yes, who is sleeping behind you?
No, sir.
No, that who is sleeping behind you?
He is also listening here.
Achha, listening. But who is he?
Oh, he is May 22 batch student, sir. November, he is joined in November, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, noted with this one also, my dear students. Noted. Done with this? Everybody. Done with this also? Now, please understand what we are going to learn right now. First of all, you need to understand the term void, voidable, etc., etc. I'll let you know the difference. Okay. First of all, what do you mean by void? What do you mean by void? Void mean no legal existence in the eyes of law. No legal existence in the eyes of law. Void. This means void. Okay. So, now the void can be, one is void, the another one is voidable. Now, what do you mean by voidable? Voidable means contract enforceable at the option of aggrieved party. Okay. Contract enforceable at the option of aggrieved party. Now, my dear student, you have to understand these things very clearly. Please focus on the screen. See, the void means no legal existence. No legal existence in the eyes of law. Just in the case of what? In the case of this example. Bharat entered into an agreement with Prithika. This is Bharat, this is Prithika. They entered into an agreement. Bharat was offering blue car, but the Prithika was giving an acceptance for red car. The consent was taken by mistake. Here, the contract is void. It means from the eyes of law, in the eyes of law, there is no contract at all because the contract entered under the mistake. There is no contract at all. There is no contract at all. No existence. The contract act will say, where is the contract? The Bharat and Prithika will say, this is the contract. The only point is mistake. The contract act will say, there is no contract at all in the eyes of law because both are under the mistake. Yes, everybody. Sir, what is aggrieved party? Aggrieved party is the sad person. Sad person with whom we have committed coercion, with whom we have committed fraud, with whom we have committed undue influence. The sad party is the aggrieved party. Yes, everybody. Now, please try and understand, my dear student. Please try and understand what I am going to tell you right now. Please have a look. Void means no legal existence in the eyes of law. Now, this void can be of two types. Void agreement and void contract. This is also known as void ab initio. Void ab initio, which means void from the very beginning. Void from the very beginning. Okay. And void contract means a contract which ceases to be enforceable by law. The key word here is ceases to be enforceable. Now please try and understand, my dear student. Under section number 10, there was a requirement. Under section number 10, there was a requirement that party must be major. Do you remember this thing, that party must be major? The party must be 18 or above. Do you remember this thing? That party must be major to enter into a contract. Do you remember this thing? And the another one is, the agreement should not be one that is expressly declared void, not expressly declared void. Do you remember this? One of the example of expressly declared void is agreement in restraint of trade. Agreement and restraint of marriage. Do you remember this thing? Do you remember this thing, everybody? Now the point is, my dear student, please, you should tell me, I am giving you an example, you should tell me whether the void is agreement or whether the void is contract. Please try and understand. For suppose this guy, whose name is Savan. For suppose Savan is right now 16 years old. Savan is minor, everybody. Savan is minor. Savan is entering into a contract with Arjun. Now Arjun is major. Savan is entering into a contract with Arjun. Now the point is whether the Savan is capable of entering into a contract. Whether Savan is capable of entering into a contract. Can I say here the Savan is incapable? Incapable of entering into a contract. Entering into agreement. Now the point is, initially at the very start of the agreement, the basic requirement, the very essence of the agreement is that the party must be major. Both the parties must be major. Here one of the parties, Savan, is 16-year-old, incapable of entering into agreement. This is void agreement or void contract? This is void agreement or void contract? This is void agreement or void contract? Void agreement. Void agreement. To this we called as void ab initio. Void from the very beginning. At the beginning of the agreement this is void because one of the parties is minor. The another example, I am giving 10 lakh rupees to Charulatha DV. That Charulatha DV, take this 10 lakh rupees. You should never marry any boy in your life ever. With that 10 lakh rupees only, she married one boy to whom she likes. Hello? The agreement entered with me and Charulatha. Both are major. Both are sound mind. But whether the agreement, whether the contract is valid. Why? Because those type of agreement is expressly declared void. So my point is whether the agreement is void or the contract is void. Whether the agreement is void or the contract is void. Agreement is void. Menaga, you are wrong. Because the agreement cannot happen. Lawmaker expressly declared that this type of agreement you should not make. This is expressly declared void. Even though you are major, even though you are sound mind. Initially, at the very beginning, we are telling, the contract act is telling that the agreement cannot happen. Expressly declared void agreements. What is the word? Expressly declared void agreements. Everybody. The agreement is void, not contract. Agreement comes first. The contract comes after the agreement. The agreement itself is void. Everybody. Are you getting the point? Everyone. Now please try and understand what I am going to tell you right now. This is very important. This is known as void ab initio, void from the very beginning. Can I say void agreement due to initial impossibility void agreement happens due to what? Initial impossibility. And what are the example of initial impossibility? Entering an agreement with minor, initial impossibility. Minor cannot enter into an agreement. Second one, agreement in restraint of marriage. Initial impossibility. You can't do this kind of agreement. The contract has expressly declared this agreement as void. Initial impossible. You can't make this kind of agreement. You can't enter into agreement with minor. This kind of agreement is initially impossible. Void ab initio in the eyes of law. Agreement in restraint of trade. This all are the example of initial impossibility. Unsound mind. You are entering into agreement with the unsound mind people. Initial impossibility. Everybody. Are you getting the point? Now another point. Suppose I am having a horse. Suppose I am having a horse. I am having a horse of international breed, a very white horse, international breed, very strong horse I am having. But what happened one fine day, one day or the last night, today is 8th. For suppose today is 8th. For suppose last night 7th. Last night the Scorpio bited. The Scorpio bitten my horse in the last night. Suppose the Scorpio bitten my horse last night, and during last night and 7th the horse died. I am unaware of this fact. I am unaware of this fact that last night Scorpio bitten my horse. The horse has died. On 8th of January today, without knowing this fact that my horse has died, I am making an offer to Santhya that Santhya, will you buy my horse? That Santhya, will you buy my horse for rupees 10,000 rupees? Santhya is also unaware that the horse has died, but Santhya is my neighbor. Santhya was knowing that I am having a horse, but Santhya is not knowing that the horse has died. Even I am not knowing that the horse has died. Can I say mistake happened? Can I say mistake happened? Everybody. Can I say mistake happened? Because I am offering to sell the horse which is not in existence. Santhya is giving an acceptance to purchase the horse which is not in existence. We are making an agreement for those subject matter which is not in existence. Hello everybody. Initial impossibility. Initial impossibility. Agreement is void. Void ab initio. Void from the very beginning because the subject matter for which you are making an agreement, that the subject matter is not in existence. Initial impossibility. Void ab initio. The agreement is void. Void from the very beginning. Getting the point? Everybody. Everybody. So these are the example of void agreement, not contract. Void agreement. Those agreement which are void from the very beginning. And the agreement which is void from the very beginning is known as void ab initio. They will not form a part of contract. They will end in the agreement itself. Those are void ab initio. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, they will not go to the contract. They will end themselves here itself in the agreement. The agreement only will not take place. There is no question of contract coming in the later part. The agreement itself is void. No legal existence in the eyes of law. Hello everybody. Are you getting my point? Everybody getting the point? So these are the example of void agreement, and void agreement happens due to initial impossibility. At the very start this is not possible. Because of that it happens. Everybody, are you getting my point? Can you please give me a thumbs up, everybody, if you got the point? Yes. Okay. Now let us move ahead. Now the point come is void contract. Now the point is void contract. My dear students, void contract. Please focus on this word. This is, I have written this void contract, and this is void agreement. If this is happening due to initial impossibility, definitely this will happen supervening impossibility. Supervening impossibility or subsequent impossibility. Due to supervening impossibility, supervening means beyond the control of the party. Let me write down here. Supervening means beyond the control of party. Beyond the control. Beyond the control of party. If you allow me, I'll explain you this point, void contract. If you allow me, I'll explain this point, void contract. Supervening impossibility. If you allow me, I'll explain you this point. I have already told you about the definition. The definition is the contract which ceases to be void. See what word I have used here. A contract. The word has been used as a contract. Here the word is agreement. Here the word is contract. Void agreement, void ab initio. A contract. A contract which ceases. This is the very important word, ceases. Ceases to be enforceable by law. If you allow me, I'll explain you. Nobody can explain you this topic in this great detail which I'm going to explain you. Each word has a meaning in itself. Everybody. If you allow me, I'll explain you the void contract. Everybody is ready right now? So the definition is the contract which ceases to be enforceable. This ceases word is very important in this thing. Okay. Now, very sorry. First of all, you should understand the difference between stop versus seize. Because the keyword is seize. Can anybody tell me the difference between stop and seize? Can anybody tell me the difference between stop and seize? Anybody? Can anybody tell me the difference of stop and seize? Seize means to close something. Here the seize doesn't mean to close. I'll tell you what is the meaning of stop and seize. Stop is voluntarily. Stop is voluntarily. Seize is situation based. This is very deep, my dear student, very deep. Nobody, I bet you, nobody can explain you the difference why the lawmaker has used the word stop and why they have not used the word stop and why they have used the word seize. This is very important. Now let me give you the example of stop and seize. You are going from the way, public place. During the way the signal came, there was a red light. Red light means you have to stop. Definitely you have to put the brake and you have to stop your vehicle. This is known as stop when you are stopping your vehicle, when you are stopping this voluntarily. Now please understand this situation based. Have you ever heard that the car was running from last 8 years continuously? That the car was running from last 8 hours. Last 8 hours continuously. Engine of car got heated. Engine of the car got heated and the engine seized. Engine seized means now because the engine is running from last 8 hours continuously at 100 kilometers per hour, engine got so heated that it stopped working by itself. So much heat was there. You haven't stopped the car engine. The car engine heated. Because of that heat, the car engine got seized. Seized means stopped working. Whether you have put the brake to stop working the engine, no. The situation was heat. The situation was what? Heat. Because of the heat, because of this situation, you haven't stopped the car. The car stopped itself. It is the situation based. This is the voluntary. Are you getting the point? The difference between stop and seized. You haven't stopped the car stopped itself. Because the situation, the engine got heated, the engine got stopped working. Everybody. So the lawmaker has used the word seize, not the stop. Everybody. Contract will be void because of the situation, not for the voluntary situation. If you have understood the term stop and seize, I'll move ahead to explain you the term void contract. You got the point? You got the point? The difference between stop and seize you got? Everybody. Now, please try and understand the example. Suppose, I'm very sorry. Suppose I'm Arjun. Arjun is event organizer. Arjun is event organizer. Okay. Now, for suppose I am event organizer in Chennai. I am making a contract with one of the renowned rapper. Okay. who will come and rap in the stadium or in the any concert. For the Chennai people, I'm organizing a rapper. I'm organizing a event where the rapper will come like this. Hello everybody. Yes. The point is, I entered into a contract with the rapper on 8th January. I entered into a contract with the rapper on 8th January. Now the point is, my dear student, the event in Chennai is on 15th Jan. Contract entered on 8th Jan. Yes, everybody. The stadium is booked. The bouncer are booked. All the tickets are printed. The tickets has been sold fully because the rapper was renowned. One day before the event, on 14th Jan, this renowned rapper got some disturbance in the throat. Disturbance in throat. So because in the very next day there was an event. So this renowned rapper on 14th January during the night went to the doctor, and the doctor told that after the testing and all, that my dear renowned rapper, you have throat cancer. You have throat cancer. That's why you are getting disturbance. And you cannot sing the song. You cannot rap right now. And if you will rap, the more you will rap, the life will rap you nicely. You have very least time. Now the point is, my dear student, for suppose on 14th January, the throat cancer detected on 9 p.m. Please try and understand, my dear student. Contract entered on 8th January. 8th January the contract entered. Please tell me, when the contract entered on 8th January, whether the contract was valid. The answer is yes. On 9th January, contract was valid. On 10th Jan, on 11th Jan, and so on. Now let us come on the 14th Jan. 14th Jan till 8:59 p.m. Contract valid or not? Contract valid. On 14th Jan, 9 p.m., the event occurred, the situation occurred, and the situation is throat cancer. Now, my dear student, this is the event. Till now, the contract was valid, but some event happened. Supervening impossibility beyond the control of the party. From this point, hello everybody, you got my point. And to this situation, we will call as void. contract, but not an agreement. Void contract. Everybody got the point? Everybody got the point? So somebody commented void agreement. He's definitely intoxicated some of the weed. Darshan Raj has consumed some of the weed. He is very high that he can't understand that we are reading the concept of void contract. So, can I say void contract is one? Can I say void contract is one which is valid at the time of making the contract? Void contract is one which is valid at the time of making the contract. Void contract is one which is valid at the time of making the contract, but subsequently after making of the contract, some event happened which makes the contract impossible to perform. The wrapper cannot perform right now, and the contract is known as void. Yes, everybody? Yes, everybody? Getting the point? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, are you well versed with this concept? Are you well versed with this concept? I am assuming that you got the concept very nicely. Bharat, you are mistaken. I know you have already learned the concept, but the concept is the concept is not clear in your mind. So I request you, Bharat, to please, whatever concept you have learned earlier, you have to forget it. You have to forget it, otherwise you will create a blunder in your mind. Forget the concept which you have learned till now, because the concept is very, very vague in your mind. The very vague concept you are having in your mind. I haven't explained voidable right now. We are still in void agreement and void contract, and you have moved to voidable contract. Everybody noted? Everybody noted? Everybody noted? Hello? Can I show the previous slides? Done, everybody? Okay, I'm removing one of the candidate from the Zoom meeting, so that one should know I have removed one of the candidate. I have removed one. Why I have removed one of the candidate is to let you know that I can remove. I am not telling that I will remove. I will do it. So I have removed one of the candidate. I will not name that candidate, but because it's not good to take the name, but I have removed him. It's definitely a male boy, and I am now removing one of the female from the group because the camera is not on. I am removing one of the female from the group. So for your information, I have removed one male and one female from the group. And if rest of the people, all the rest of the people whose camera is yet off, I'll continue to remove. I have removed 2 people from the group right now. Yes. Now, after this, you have noted down this. Please note down this one if you haven't. Please note down this one. Make it fast. Make it fast. Noted, everybody? Yes, yes, break. I will give you the break at 10:15. I'll give you the break at 10:15. 10:15 you will be getting the break. Okay. Let us finish the concept in 15 minutes. Guys, note it down. Yes, can we move ahead, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Can we move ahead? Okay. So this one is noted, even I guess this one is noted. The stop and seize is also noted. Now, we are moving to the concept of voidable. Now, what do you mean by voidable? So, void agreement is done, void contract is done. Now, We are moving. Sir, notes which you given now and your handwritten notes, both are same? Almost same, almost. Not exactly same, almost same. Now please have a look on this. Voidable. Voidable contract. What it actually means is, the contract is voidable at the option of aggrieved party. Now please try and understand, the contract is voidable at the option. This is very important. This is very, very important. Option. So here the option means right. Here the option means right. So the contract is voidable. When the contract is voidable? The contract is voidable at the option of aggrieved party when, with the aggrieved party, we have taken the consent by way of coercion, undue influence, fraud, misrepresentation. In this 4 case, the contract is voidable at the option of aggrieved party. It means we are giving right to the aggrieved party that, my dear aggrieved party, we have committed coercion, undue influence, fraud, undue misrepresentation with you. Your consent has not been obtained freely. Your consent has not been obtained freely, so we are giving you a right. We are giving you a right. We are giving you an option that at your option, the contract is voidable. Now please understand the term. One term is void and another is voidable. Void is present tense. Void is present tense. Right now, this particular moment, the contract is void. This is the future tense. This is the future tense. Now, what voidable means? What does it means? Voidable at the option of AP. What does it means? What does it means? It means aggrieved party is having a right to make a contract void in which his consent was not freely obtained. Was not freely obtained. Hello everybody. Voidable at the option of aggrieved party means aggrieved party is having a right. We are giving an option that if you want, because your consent was not taken freely, if you want, having a right to make a contract void. The contract is currently not void. The contract is currently voidable. The contract is currently voidable. Future tense. The contract is currently not void. It's voidable. Your consent was not free. If you want, you can make the contract void in future. It's voidable at your option. Voidable at your option, in which the consent was not freely obtained. Getting the point? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let me give you an example. Let me take an example. Do you remember the case of Labrador, where the Labrador was given by obtaining the consent of fraud? Yes. Yes, everybody. So for suppose, let us take an example. The dog was given by Bilton The dog was given by Bilton. To whom the dog was given? Let us take an example of Ram. Let us take an example of Ram. The dog given by fraud. Who is the aggrieved party? Who is the aggrieved party? Ram. Ram is aggrieved party. So at his option, at option of Ram, the contract is voidable. It means Contract Act is giving a right to Ram that, my dear Ram, your consent was not free. Your consent was obtained by fraud. Now, me being a Contract Act, me giving you an option, Ram, whether you want to make this contract void, whether you want to make this contract void. If yes, it's your will. You can now claim that my consent was not obtained freely. Like one fine day, after the purchase, after 10 days, 15 days, he got to know that the dog is not the original one. Ram got to know that the fraud happens with me. The moment Ram encountered that fraud happens with me, now Ram is going to Bilton claiming that you have made the fraud. I have checked this dog from the vet that the breed is not original. It's hybrid. It means Ram is using the option and making the contract void. Getting the point, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Because we have given an option. So Ram is using the option and making the contract void. Everybody, are you getting the point? Everybody, are you getting the point? Yes or no? Mohana Priya, the question mark is coming in your face. The concept is not yet over. I'll still explain the concept. Yes. Till now, whether you got the point or not, we are giving an option, we are giving a right. The fraud happens with you. So if you want to exercise the option, you can make the contract void right now. Now what will happen? What will happen? Bilton has to return the amount. Return the amount to Ram. And Ram will return the dog. And the contract is void. And the contract is void. Everybody, are you getting the point? Menaga, if you don't want, let me tell you what will happen. Now, what is the difference between voidable and void? Please try and understand. What is the difference? Can you please tell me what is the difference between voidable and void? Can you please tell what is the difference between voidable and void? Can you please tell? I'll tell you what is the difference between voidable and void. This is the only difference. This is the only difference between voidable and void. At the option of aggrieved party, the contract is voidable. It means if the aggrieved party wants, he can make the contract void. If he don't want, the contract is voidable. So exercise of option, please try and understand. For suppose Ram, the aggrieved party, to whom we have given the option, so exercise of option, to whom the right is given? To Ram. Ram is aggrieved party. So Ram exercising the option. Exercise means to use. Exercise means to use. Okay. If Ram is using the option, Ram is exercising his option, okay, the fraud happens with me, I want to make the contract void. If Ram is exercising the option, so who are the party? Bilton and Ram. For Bilton and Ram, for both of them, the contract will be void contract. Yes or no, everybody? Yes or no? The another situation, not exercising the option. Not exercising the option. If you are not exercising your option, because we are giving you a right, we are giving you an option. If you won't exercise, the contract will be valid. Now please try and understand. For both Bilton and Ram, the contract will be valid contract. Yes, everybody? Because we are giving you an option. Ram, we are giving you an option. If you want to exercise the option, if you want to make the contract void, you can make the contract void by using your option. If you are not exercising the option, it means you don't have any problem. The contract will be valid from the point of view of both the party. Yes, everybody? Everybody got the point? If somebody is having any doubt, please let me know. Sir, if the contract is void, what will Ram do, sir? Will he give the dog back and claim his money? Yes. Already taught this concept. Anybody is having any doubt? Anybody is having any doubt? So let me repeat the things for you before giving you a break. Let me repeat the things for you. Please have a look on this voidable. I am assuming void agreement is understood to you very properly. Void contract is understood to you very properly. Now we are learning the void contract. Please try and understand. Voidable contract means if the consent of the party is obtained by fraud, coercion, undue influence, fraud, misrepresentation. So the opposite party becomes aggrieved. So the contract act is giving the right to the aggrieved party. Fraud happens to you, coercion happens to you, undue influence happens to you, misrepresentation happens to you. Me being a law, contract act, giving you an option. At your option, the contract is voidable. Voidable, not void. Voidable. It means today you are not aware that the dog is not of the original breed. Tomorrow you will come to know after some time that the fraud happens to me. So contract is voidable. Voidable in future also. Voidable in future also. We are giving you an option that in future if you got to know, oh my goodness, the dog was hybrid, the fraud happened to me. We are giving an option that the contract is voidable at your option. In future, you can make the contract void because at present you are unaware that the dog is hybrid. Because if we have aware of the fact, you haven't entered into a contract. Yes, everybody? So in future we are giving you a right, the contract is voidable at your option because in the present you are not aware of the fact. So in future after 10 days you will come to know, oh, the fraud happened to me. Voidable at your option. If you want to exercise the option, exercise, the contract will void. If you won't exercise, the contract will be valid. Yes, everybody? Everybody? So you understand the concept of voidable. In future it is giving the right to the aggrieved party that you can make the contract void right now when you encounter that the fraud happened with you. Yes, everyone? Everybody? Everybody. Hello. So the contract is voidable at the option. So voidable is the future tense. This is the future tense. In future we are giving right. Okay. So voidable at the option of aggrieved party. Aggrieved party is having right to make contract void in which his consent was not freely obtained. And this chart will help you very, very nicely. What is the difference between voidable and void? Is the exercise of option. If the aggrieved party Ram exercising the option, so the contract will be void contract for both Bilton and Ram. And if not exercising the option, the contract will be valid for both the parties, because we are giving an option. Option means right. Option means you don't have to compulsorily exercise the option. It's your sole will. It's your sole will. Everybody getting the point? Hello? Everybody getting the point? Can I move ahead? Can I move ahead a bit? I'll be giving you a break in 10:30. Can I move ahead a bit? Hello? Can I move ahead a bit? Yes. Arey, AP means aggrieved party, my dear. Key points. The contract is valid until and unless the aggrieved party is exercising the option. Key points. Getting the point, everybody? Now what this point means is, please try and understand. The aggrieved party must exercise the option within reasonable time. It means, for suppose Ram encountered that the breed is not original, the breed is hybrid. Ram has to exercise the option in reasonable time. What is reasonable time is not defined anywhere. It will always depend on the facts and circumstances of the case. So in this case, in this current example, in the example of Ram, where the dog is of hybrid breed, when the Ram encountered that the dog is hybrid, Ram should exercise this option to make the contract void within 10 to 15 days or in a month. But after 6 months or after 3 months, if Ram is coming that the dog is hybrid, now I want my money back, the right will be vanished. The aggrieved party must exercise the option within reasonable time. Within reasonable time, you have to exercise the option. Okay, everybody? Yes. Mohana Priya, you got the concept or not? There's still question mark in your face. Got? Okay. Okay. Please note it down. We are having a break of 15 minutes. We will be coming back after 15 minutes. Do you guys want to note down this chart and all? Already noted? Or you want to note it down? You want to note it down, okay. So I'll be showing the chart. I'm removing my video from the screen. Okay, I'll be showing the chart. You should note the things. We will be resuming the class at 10:45 a.m. Okay, there is a 15-minute break. 10:45 a.m. we will be resuming the class. Yes, everybody. Welcome back. Audible, visible? Audible, visible, everybody? Okay. Yes. Everybody had breakfast? Okay. Bilton, what you had? Let me unmute the Bilton. What you had, Bilton, in breakfast? Hi, how are you?
Pongal, sir. When Pongal, sir.
Pongal?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All three of you.
Yes, sir.
So you all three live in one room?
Sir, not only 3. Total 16. 15 months, sir. No.
Okay. No, in total hostel there is 16 or in your room 16?
No, in our room 16.
16 people you live in the room?
Yes, sir.
Very big room. Okay. Okay. You can mute yourself. Okay. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yes, everybody. I'm assuming that you guys perfectly understood what do you mean by void agreement, void contract, voidable contract. Anybody is having any doubt, please let me know, because I have seen question mark in some of the faces regarding voidable contract. Everybody understood the voidable contract? Everything noted by you? Yes, where is that girl Mohana Priya? Where is that girl Mohana Priya? Yes, everybody come back on the camera, please. Okay, anybody is having doubt on the void and voidable contract, so please let me know. Everybody. Anybody is having any doubt? Hello? Anybody is having any doubt? So can I ask some of the question with you? Can I ask some of the question with you? Okay. If you are understood the concept and all, I want to ask some of the questions. Okay. Okay. Now before moving to the question, let us conclude. Let us conclude. So my dear students, finally we understood the definition of contract, because we have covered section number 10 as well. Okay. So for contract we need two things: agreement plus enforceability by law. Agreement we have understood yesterday itself. And for enforceability we need two things. First is section 10, all essential conditions. So all the essential conditions are covered by us. And the second is intention to create legal relationship, which was covered in yesterday's class itself. So today the definition of contract is over, because section 10 gives us enforceability. Section 10 gives us enforceability. If all the conditions of section 10 are present in your agreement, then agreement plus enforceability is equal to contract. But the enforceability is given by section 10. If you fulfill all the conditions of section 10, automatically your agreement will get enforced, and once the agreement get enforced, it becomes a contract. Everybody? Yes or no? Everybody? You got the point, everybody? So all the points are covered of section 10. Now, just for the sake of clarity, I want to ask some of the question with you all. Please have a look. Yeah. So suppose example, here is Arjun and here is Mr. Sharma. Okay, both entered into a contract. and the contract is for Arjun is having a godown. Arjun is having a godown. So Arjun is giving this godown on rent to Mr. Sharma. The point was, at the time of making contract, the condition was Mr. Sharma needs to pay 12 months rent in advance. 12 months rent in advance. Okay. So contract entered on 1st Jan 2023. For suppose example, contract entered on 1st Jan 2023. On 1st Jan 2023, when the contract entered, 12-month advance rent was paid. 12 months advance rent was paid. Now, on 1st April 2023, the godown got fire. And everything is now exhausted. Everything is now over. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you can see, Mr. Sharma has paid an advance of 12 months. But Mr. Sharma actually used the godown for Jan, Feb, March. And on 1st April, the godown got fired. Yes, everybody? Tell me the nature of the contract. Nature of contract means valid, voidable, void, etc. Tell me the nature of contract. What will happen to the contract? Tell me the nature of the contract. Menaga is saying valid contract, Sakiti is telling void contract, Kirti is telling void contract. Acha, when the contract will become void? Yeah, it is a situation based. Can you please tell me the date? Exactly, when the godown got destroyed 1st April. It means from 1st Jan to 31st March. From 1st Jan to 31st March, the contract was valid, yes or no? Contract was valid, yes or no, everybody? But from 1st April, what happened? Supervening impossibility. So on 1st April, the contract ceases to be enforceable. And when the contract ceases to become enforceable, it becomes void contract. Yes, everybody? Getting the point? Hello? Okay. Next question. Arjun is entering into agreement with Ram. Ram is 12 years old. State the nature of the agreement. Valid agreement, void agreement, void contract. Void agreement, it means void ab initio. Yes, everybody? Now, the point is, Arjun is threatening Vinod. I am giving a threat to Vinod that I'll murder him. If Vinod do not give his house of worth rupees 50 lakh at just rupees 50,000. Okay. State the nature of the contract. Somebody is writing void agreement. State the nature of the contract. It's a voidable contract. Yes, everybody? Voidable at the option of aggrieved party. Okay. Now, let us move ahead. Till now, what we have learned, let me correct you. Now we are moving ahead to the types of contract, and the types of contract is very easy. Till now, we have learned the definition of contract, definition of agreement, definition of promise, and all the essential elements of valid contract, that is section number 10. This is the basic. Now you are well versed with the concept. Now let us move to the another topic, types of contract. Types of contract. How many contracts are there? So, valid contract, void contract, voidable contract, and illegal contract. 4 types, and a 5th types of contract. Now please have a look on this. Valid contract means it has all essential elements of a valid contract and it is enforceable by law. So we are learning types of contract on the basis of enforceability. Which types of contract are enforceable and which are not enforceable? It means which promises, which contract, which promises can be enforced by the court, or which promises can be enforced by the law, and which promise, which contract cannot be enforced by the law. The second one is void contract. Whether the void contract is enforceable or not enforceable, you tell me. Void contract is enforceable or not enforceable? Void contract are enforceable or not enforceable? You tell me. Enforceable or not? What if I say void contract is one which is enforceable at the time of making of contract, but subsequently due to some supervening impossibility it ceases to be enforceable? Can I say at the beginning void contract is enforceable, but after some supervening impossibility it is not enforceable by law? Yes or no? Yes or no, everybody? Sivabala taking nice, huh? Sivabala. Okay. So void contract does not have any legal effect. No legal effect. Void contract is not enforceable by law. The third one is voidable contract, enforceable at the option of aggrieved party. We have just read this. Fourth is illegal. Illegal means forbidden by law, not enforceable. Can you please give me some example of illegal contract? Can you please give me some example of illegal contract? Killing someone, cocaine, smuggling, etc. Okay. Now, this is something which you need to understand. Unenforceable contract. Unenforceable contract, that is contract which is good in substance but suffer from technical defect. Now to explain this point, I have to again take an example. Do you guys know about the promissory note? Do you guys know about the promissory note? You know about the promissory note? Let me tell you what do you mean by promissory note. Please have a look. For suppose Arjun is lending some amount to, for suppose Vijaya. I am lending some amount to Vijaya, say rupees 10 lakh. Now to secure my loan, I'll ask Vijaya to draw a promissory note, to make a promissory note, So promissory note is made on a stamp paper. Promissory note made on stamp paper. It is given in the law that promissory note should be made in stamp paper, and here the girl will write, the Vijaya will write that I, Vijaya, father's name this, residing there, at this date I have taken a loan amount of this from Arjun, and on XYZ date I'll return the amount to Mr. Arjun Chhabra. This promissory note he will give to me. Okay, she will give to me this promissory note, and on due date I'll present this promissory note to Vijaya to take the payment. But the point is, what if the promissory note is not made on stamp paper but made on a A4 size plain paper. Although the law is telling that the promissory note must be made in the stamp paper. Stamp paper, right? But you guys have made the stamp paper in A4 size plain paper. Now the point is, Arjun is also major, Vijaya is also major. Arjun is also of sound mind, Vijaya is also of sound mind. Lawful object, lawful consideration. The consent was also free. There was consideration also. This agreement was not expressly declared void. Consensus ad idem was there. Parties was not insolvent. Everything is good. All the essential condition of section 10 is present. But it lacks one technical defect. And what is the technical defect? Everything is okay. Everything is okay. The one technical defect is that the promissory note should be in the stamp paper. You guys have made the promissory note in A4 size plain paper. This is the technical defect. Because of this technical defect, your contract is unenforceable. So what the contract act is saying, you remove the defect, I'll make the contract enforceable. So once you convert this promissory note from A4 size paper to stamp paper, currently it is unenforceable. Once you convert it into the stamp paper, it will become enforceable. Yes, everybody? Yes, everybody, you got the point? Hello? Everybody got the point? Are you sure? Are you sure? Everybody? Okay. Now, the difference. Void agreement and illegal agreement. Please try and understand the difference. Void agreement and illegal agreement. Now, you tell me, if I am entering an agreement with minor, it is illegal or void? It is illegal or void? If I am entering an agreement with minor, it is illegal or void? Okay. Vishwadarshani is telling it is illegal. Okay, first of all, let me tell you the meaning of illegal and void. See, illegal means if you are doing something which is illegal, like murdering, smuggling, dacoity, kidnapping, this is illegal, and for this you will be behind the bars, behind the jail. Hello? You will be imprisoned. Everybody, are you getting my point? Illegal means that act for which you may got imprisonment, you may be behind the bars. But void means what? Void means in the eyes of law, that contract has no existence. So for suppose example, for suppose Madhavan R is a minor. I am giving a loan amount of rupees 50,000 to the Madhavan R. Okay. I am giving 10,000 rupees or 50,000 rupees Madhavan R on the condition that Madhavan will return this amount at 10% rate of interest. This agreement is void ab initio. If tomorrow Madhavan will not return my money, I can't do anything. I'll go to the court, I'll tell to court that my judge, my lord, I have given 10,000 rupees. My lord will tell that the boy is minor. There is no contract, there is no agreement, void agreement. In our eyes, there is no agreement. Where there is no agreement, how you can take the money back? So this is void. The court will not tell me, oh, you have entered the agreement with minor. Come on. Put this guy into jail. No. When the agreement is void, in the eyes of law, it has no existence, but there is no punishment. But in case of illegal, like dacoity, murder, kidnapping, all these things, smuggling, all these things are illegal, for which you have to go behind the bars. Getting the point? Now, one idiot is telling illegal. Who is the idiot? Vishwadarshani. Vishwadarshani is telling, bole, if we are entering into an agreement with minor, it is illegal. It means for entering into an agreement with minor, I have to get to jail. Right? Hello? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, getting the point? Everybody. So please try and understand. Void agreement, not necessary illegal. Not necessary illegal means If I'm entering into an agreement with minor, it is void but not illegal. Yes or no? Yes or no? Getting the point? Everybody? Getting the point, everybody? Yes? Okay. Illegal agreement are always void. Illegal agreement are always void. You are murdering a person, it's illegal as well as void. But I'm entering into an agreement with minor, it is only void but not illegal. Are you getting the difference, everybody? Are you getting the difference, everybody? Yes. The second one is, illegal agreement are not forbidden by law. If you are entering into an agreement with minor, it is not forbidden. The law simply says if you are entering into an agreement with minor, it will be void. But murder, dakati, rape, kidnapping is forbidden by law, and if you are committing this act, you will be behind the bars. Okay. Punishment. Parties cannot be liable for punishment. If I am entering into an agreement with minor, it is not punishable. The agreement is simply void. That's it. Parties liable for what? Punishment. Now this is very important. This is very important. Connected and collateral agreement. You have to be very attentive. Don't slip in the classroom. I am giving you a number of examples right now. You have to understand this very carefully. Connected and collateral agreement. See, in case of void agreement, agreement connected or collateral to void agreement may also be void. May also be void. Please understand this point. May also be void. But in case of illegal, connected and collateral agreement are always void. Please understand the difference about this. Have a look on the screen. Don't sleep in the classroom. Please be attentive in the classroom. I want each and every cameras to be on. Get up, everybody. On the camera. Everybody on the camera. Please have a look here. Acha, I want to know who all get printed that all the notes I have provided in the WhatsApp. Anybody got printed the notes? You have to print the notes by yourself. Whatever notes has been given to you in the WhatsApp, you have to print it by yourself. From tomorrow onwards, we will be using the notes. From tomorrow onwards, we will be using the notes itself. Okay. And regarding that bullseye notes, the institute will provide the notes. The academy will provide you the notes. Now, please focus on this. We are talking about connected and collateral agreements. Please have a look on this. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Suppose here is Arjun. Here is Mr. Sharma. And here is Bilton. Okay. Bilton is actually a minor. Bilton is actually a minor. Now please try and understand. Bilton is asking a loan, requesting a loan from Mr. Sharma. That Mr. Sharma, please lend me a loan of rupees 50,000. Mr. Sharma is telling, I do not have any amount. I am not having a single penny in my pocket. I'll request the loan amount from Arjun of rupees 50,000. Mr. Sharma is requesting the loan amount. Rupees 50k from Arjun. Okay. Now Arjun is giving a loan. Arjun is giving a loan amount of rupees 50k to Mr. Sharma. Now this loan amount rupees 50k Mr. Sharma is giving to Mr. Bilton at 10% rate of interest. At 10%. It means Bilton has to return this 50k to Mr. Sharma at 10% per annum. It means, 10% per month. It means at the time of returning the amount, Bilton will return 55,000. The point is, my dear students, can I say, the main agreement is between Mr. Sharma and Mr. Bilton. To make this main agreement, Mr. Sharma entered with the contract into Arjun. Hello, everybody. What is the main agreement? What is the main contract? The main contract is between Mr. Sharma and Mr. Bilton. That is the loan agreement. But to make this main agreement, Mr. Sharma need to enter a collateral, a connected agreement, a connected agreement, a connected agreement, collateral contract. This is the connected one. This is the collateral and connected one. And this is the main. Yes, everybody? Hello? Are you getting my point? What is the main agreement? The main agreement is between Bilton and Mr. Sharma, loan agreement. And to make this agreement, Mr. Sharma need to agreement with Arjun. Yes or no? Everybody? Hello? Are you getting my point? Everybody? Now my question is, Praveen T, put your camera on. Put your camera on. Now the question is, you tell me the agreement entered by Mr. Sharma and Mr. Bilton, valid or not valid? Valid or not valid? The agreement entered by Mr. Sharma and Bilton, valid or not valid? Valid or not valid? Not valid means void. It means this main agreement is actually void ab initio because you have entered this agreement with minor. Hello? What about the agreement entered by Mr. Sharma and Mr. Arjun? What about this agreement? What about this agreement? This will be valid? This will be valid. Now, the point is, Arjun, in one situation aware, in one situation Arjun is aware and in one situation Arjun is unaware. When Mr. Sharma is asking loan amount from Arjun, Arjun is asking, Mr. Sharma, for what purpose you are taking this loan? So Mr. Sharma is telling, I am taking this loan for my own purpose. For my own purpose. Mr. Sharma is not telling that by taking the loan amount from you, I lend this loan amount to minor. It means Arjun is unaware whether the loan amount is given to minor or not. Yes. In this situation, the contract will be valid. What if the Arjun is aware that I am giving the loan amount to Mr. Sharma and Mr. Sharma is giving the loan amount to Bilton, who is minor? Arjun is aware of this fact. What will happen in this situation? Void. Getting the point, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Now let us read this point once again. See, agreement connected collateral to void agreement. What was the void agreement? Void agreement was between Mr. Sharma and Bilton. And what was the connected agreement? Connected agreement was of Mr. Sharma and Mr. Arjun. So agreement connected collateral to void agreement may also void. May, not always. May means it may become void, it may not. It will depend on the facts and circumstances of the case. Arjun was aware of the fact that I am lending money to Mr. Sharma and Mr. Sharma is lending money to minor. The connected collateral agreement will also become void. If the Arjun is unaware, the contract will become valid. So may means it may or may not. Possible, not possible. Yes, everybody? Yes, everybody? Got the point? Everybody got the point? So if Arjun is aware, it will become void. If the Arjun is not aware, it will not become void. That contract will be valid. Yes, everybody? It means if tomorrow Mr. Sharma is not returning the amount, Mr. Arjun can sue. But if tomorrow Bilton is not returning the amount, Mr. Sharma can't do anything. Yes, everybody? Yes, everybody? Everybody, yes or no? Okay. Now let us come here. In case of illegal, connected collateral agreement are always void. Hello? Always void. In case of illegal, connected or collateral agreements are always void. Now please try and understand this thing. After this, I'll ask some question to you. You have to answer that. After this, I'm asking you some question. Please have a look. Mr. Sharma. Threatening. Mr. Verma. Mr. Sharma is threatening Mr. Verma that Mr. Verma, I'll murder you if you won't give your house at rupees 10,000 only. Mr. Verma got afraid and agreed, okay, I'll give you my house at rupees 10,000 only. Okay. Now, Mr. Sharma has to pay rupees 10,000 to Mr. Verma. So Mr. Sharma is coming to Arjun and asking for the loan amount of rupees 10k. And asking for the loan amount of rupees 10k. I am asking Mr. Arjun, sorry, I am asking Mr. Sharma, Mr. Sharma, why you are taking this loan? Bole, for the purpose of purchase of house. I am taking this loan. Now this is the main agreement. And this one is the collateral one. My question is to you guys. My question is to you guys. This is the connected one. This is the main one. Which is valid, which is void? You tell me. Or whether all of them is void. State the nature of the contract. State the nature of the contract. The nature of contract between Mr. Sharma and Mr. Verma, and the nature of contract between Mr. Sharma and Mr. Arjun. Please tell me. Mr. Sharma to Mr. Verma is voidable because of coercion. Very good, Bharat. Very good. Mr. Sharma to Mr. Verma is voidable because of coercion. Very good. And Tarak Keshwari, I am also very happy with your answer. If Arjun is aware, then everything is void. Mr. Sharma and Verma voidable and Mr. Sharma and Arjun void. Now let me give you a very nice question. This is the question, please answer. X threatens to kill Y. X is threatening Y. If Y does not sell his house to X for rupees 1 lakh, Y agrees, okay, I'll sell, don't kill me. X borrows rupees 1 lakh rupees from Z. So for the purpose of purchase house, X is borrowing money from Z. And Z is also aware of the purpose of the loan. Z is knowing for what purpose X is borrowing the money. What is the nature of agreement between X and Y? You tell me. What is the nature of agreement between X and Y? Voidable. And what about X and Z? What about X and Z? What about X and Z? First tell me what about X and Y. First tell me X and Y. What about X and Y? What about X and Y? What about X and Y? Voidable? Perfect, 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 perfect. X and Y, it's voidable. What about X and Z? What about X and Z? Void. May I know the reason why void? May I know the reason why void? May I know the reason why void? Somebody is telling it's also voidable. Vishwa is telling because he is aware. He knows the reason. Okay. So my dear student, don't you think here it is written who is also aware of the purpose of the loan? What was the purpose of the loan? What was the purpose of the loan? What was the purpose of the loan? Can you please tell me? To buy house. So Z was aware of the purpose, and what was the Z? What Z was aware? Z was aware that the X is borrowing money for the purpose of loan. Z is not aware that X has coercioned, threatened Y and taking the house. My dear student, please awake. Z is aware of the purpose of loans means Z is aware that X is borrowing loan for the purpose of house, purchasing of house. Now tell me what will happen. Now tell me what is the nature of contract between X and Z. What is the nature of agreement between X and Z? Now tell me. Valid, exactly. It means the nature of agreement between X and Y is voidable and the nature of agreement between X and Z is valid. Please write it down. Write it down. See, here is space is also given. If you got the notes printed, you have to write here. These notes are already given to you in the WhatsApp. Write it down. Write the answer. Write the answer. The notes is already given in the WhatsApp. Write the answer. The contract between X and Y. The contract between X and Y. Write the answer. I am dictating it. I'll show you. Instead of dictating you, I'll show you. Just a moment. Write it down. The contract between X and Y is a contract which is voidable at the option of Y. Write it down. Don't take a screenshot, because if you are taking a screenshot, trust me, I am guaranteeing you, you will never write it down on your copy. You have to write it right down. You have to pen down it right now. The contract between X and Y is a contract which is voidable at the option of X, option of Y, because Y's consent is not free as it has been obtained by coercion. The contract between X and Z is valid because the object of contract, that is borrowing for the purchase of house, is lawful. So Z is aware of the purpose, and the purpose is the borrowing of money. Tharunesh, are you writing or not? Writing, okay. Let me remove some of the people. See, once I'll remove anyone, you people cannot join yourself. Trust me about this. Write it down soon. Sir, what if X is a minor? If X is a minor, it's a mistake of both the party. And if X is a minor, how he can threaten Y, my dear? Okay, written? Done? Everybody? Everybody done? Hello? Done? X agrees to pay Y rupees 1 lakh. X agrees to pay Y rupees 1 lakh. If Y kills Z, are you understanding the provision, the case law? X agrees to pay Y rupees 1 lakh. If Y kills Z, so to pay Y, X borrows rupees 1 lakh rupees from W, who is also aware of the purpose of the loan. Now W is aware that this loan amount of what I'm giving to X will pay this 1 lakh rupees to Y, and Y will kill Z. Y kills Z, but X refuses to pay. Y kills Z, but X refuses to pay. X also refuses to repay the loan to W. Advise Y and W. Advise everybody. Are you getting the point? Hello? My dear students, are you getting the question, or I should repeat? I should repeat. Hello? So advise Y and W, what can be done? Because X is not repaying the loan amount to anyone. What can be done? My dear students, I am waiting for your answer or reactions. What can be done? What can be done? You got the question, nah? You got the question? Yes or no? Everybody got the question? Yes. So advise. Now let me tell you, let us understand the question. X is threatening to pay Y rupees 1 lakh if Y kills Z. Okay. So to pay Y, X is borrowing 1 lakh rupees from W, and W is also aware that this amount will go to Y and Y will kill Z. Y kills Z, but X refuses to pay Y also, and X is refusing to repay the money to W also, who is also aware of the purpose. So the main agreement is illegal and void, and the connected agreement, because you are aware, is also void. Now my point is, please try and understand. This is the case. So I am agreeing to pay rupees 1 lakh to Bilton. Okay, if Bilton is murdering whom? Mr. Sharma. Now to pay Bilton amount of rupees 1 lakh, I am going to Mr. Sharma. That Mr. Sharma, I want rupees 1 lakh. Mr. Sharma is asking for what purpose you are taking 1 lakh. So I am giving a reason for my business. So Arjun is taking rupees 1 lakh rupees from Mr. Sharma, giving a reason of business rupees 1 lakh. Now, Bilton murdered this Mr. Sharma, and Arjun is not paying rupees 1 lakh rupees to Bilton also, and also not returning 1 lakh rupees to Mr. Sharma. What can be done? What can be done? What can be done, my students? What can be done? You tell me. What can be done? Can I repeat the question again? Can I repeat the question again? Now please understand. Arjun is agreeing to pay 1 lakh rupees to Bilton. Okay. Why? Because Bilton will murder Mr. Sharma. So Arjun is making a promise, agreement that Bilton, you murder Mr. Sharma, I'll pay you 1 lakh rupees. So Arjun is not having 1 lakh rupees. Arjun go to Mr. Sharma. Arjun go to Mr. Sharma and asking Mr. Sharma, will you please give me 1 lakh rupees? So Mr. Sharma is asking Arjun, for what purpose you are wanting 1 lakh rupees? So Mr. Arjun is saying, Mr. Sharma, I want this money for my business purpose, for my own business. After taking the loan amount from Mr. Sharma, now Bilton murdered Mr. Sharma. And now Bilton is asking Arjun, give me 1 lakh. Arjun is saying, no, I'll not give. And even Mr. Sharma is also asking rupees 1 lakh. Arjun is saying to Mr. Sharma also, I'll not give the money. What can be done? You tell me. What can be done? You tell me. Sorry. One mistake. Here is Mr. Verma actually. I wrote Mr. Sharma. Here is actually Mr. Verma. What can be done? You tell me. Arjun and Bilton is void and Arjun and Sharma is valid. Menaga beta, don't you think it is not void? Is it illegal? It is illegal. This agreement is illegal. And this agreement will be valid. Yes, everybody? Yes, everybody? Mr. Verma can sue Arjun because it is valid. But this is illegal. Yes, everybody? Hello? Are you getting the point? Yes? Now, please tell me, what if Mr. Verma is aware that Arjun is taking the loan amount so that Mr. Arjun can give this money to Bilton and Bilton can murder Mr. Sharma. Arjun is aware. So everything will be void. Yes or no? Everything will be void. Yes or no? Getting the point? Okay. Now, please note down the answer. The agreement between X and Y is an illegal agreement because its objects is unlawful. Hence, Y cannot recover anything from X. Since the main agreement between X and Y is illegal, the agreement between X and W, which is collateral to the main agreement, is also void. And hence, Y cannot recover anything from X. Understood, everybody? Let me know once you have penned down this answer. Okay? Let me know once you are done. Okay, you guys want me to continue the lecture or you want to conclude the class? You want me to continue the lecture or want me to conclude the class? Continue, okay. Go ahead. Okay. Conclude, sir. Continue, sir. Sir, why W is not able to recover the amount? Because W was knowing the purpose. W was aware of the fact that I am giving the loan amount to murder someone. The purpose was aware to W. That's why W cannot recover. Okay. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I want to request each and every one of you to get the notes printed with you. It will help you to take the class effectively. The notes are very important. The handwritten notes and the printed note you must have with you only. Okay, everybody. So with your permission, I want to conclude the class. With your permission, I want to conclude the class. Everybody. Can I conclude the class? Okay. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye. Okay. Bye bye.